Hey, ladies and gentlemen. And when I say gentlemen, I mean ladies. This is Jason, zombie collector extraordinaire, if you will. And I have a PSA for you crazy kids out there in YouTube land. Uh, what's up, ladies and gents? What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Figmaster R here, and then we got to what you want. What's up? I'll start here in a second, but this is going to be a PSA for all you're all out there, because here in YouTube we got a lot of people who are like Chicken Littles, who go around screaming the sky's falling, and they like to stir up concerns and fake worry and fake just make a mountain out of a molehill, for a lack of a better terminology. Oh, we got the King Stove Sports, Mr. I Spell Wiener. Wiener. Hey, Luca, do you know Gabriel?
Gabriel who?
Galito?
No,
Galindo?
I don't think so.
Gabriel Galindo.
What did he say?
He goes, I'm your son's friend.
Maybe.
He goes by Tawashi Chu.
I don't know.
Okay. But anyways, I thought, like, shockingly, I get a 101 G Money 6124.
Oh, yeah, I do remember him.
Yeah, my son goes, oh yeah, I remember him. So, because this community is so much in the mindset of trying to get people to come to their channel with fake news. We have a lot of people in this community. If you remember, back in the olden times, that we had the Copacabana scare, that everybody was like, we're going to do YouTube videos of the Copacabana. We're going to go live streams, and we're going to have a bunch of people sitting around in a circle and talk about how our whole life as we know is going to come to an end. And it's just all going to come crashing down because, YouTube's coming after all of us. And we're going to delete our channels, and we're going to run for the hills and become, mountain men. And we're going to go and live off the grid because everybody was so freaked out because of the whole, Copacabana. And I'm surprised that I beat everybody to the punch, because, you always got people like Eric, those back pages, and you got Mike Baseball Collector, all these guys who are always about trying to get people to, come to their channels with, unnecessary ridiculousness drama. So I figured they'd already done like 15 videos up to this point since February talking about the national and coronavirus, because everybody is going to apparently die from it. And I want to be the first one to say that you should not go to the national, because your life is more important than going to play with baseball cards. It's way more important to do it. And you got to make sure you're safe. You got to wash your hands, practice good hand washing, practice good covering one's mouth, cough into your elbow. You have to make sure you wash between your fingers, underneath the fingernails, for a good 20 seconds. But even when you do all those things, more than likely when you go to the national, you're going to die anyways, because there's going to be all those people there. You have a bunch of sweaty, nasty people who don't take showers, who don't bathe, they don't wash the cracks of their buttocks, and they're going to be slinging fecal matter and coronavirus everywhere on you. You're going to be touching little cardboard pictures of little men, and then you're going to be wiping it on your face and your mouth. I mean, we already got Pepino Man licking cards. He's going to go around, he's going to go around licking everything at the national. He'll probably be licking cards and then giving them to you right there. He's giving you the coronavirus. It's not because he's a Mexican. It's just because he licks stuff. And being Mexican is only like 32% of the reason why you shouldn't do it. So, guys, I'm just telling you now, this is my PSA. Do not go to the national, boycott the national. If they're already talking about baseball being like no fans of baseball and the NCAA March Madness is not going to have fans around, possibly they're going to have no contact with the public, and the Olympics in Tokyo is up in the air, then if they're doing that, then you better believe the national is way down the list of non-important places to go and possibly catch the coronavirus and then kick the bucket. I'm just letting you all know now, because I'm assuming we're going to have a lot of videos. I just happen to beat everybody to the punch that they're not going to do videos and we're not going to do live streams. We got 4 other people and they're doing a circle in the backgrounds talking about how, the coronavirus, are we still going to do the national? What should you do to prepare for the national and the coronavirus? Are you scared? Because we have a lot of people in this community who likes to get hopped up on a bunch of fake news and then try to draw people into their channel and be like, we're the soothsayers of this community. And if you come to my channel, I know everything. We have a lot of people like that who think they know everything, and they want to be like, the buck stops here. They want to be the all-knowing grand master of all things, YouTube and baseball and the national. Why? I got something for you. Don't go to the national, or go to the national, get the coronavirus, and then prepare with your little like daisy that you're going to put on top of yourself like this. I would recommend that. So I would just say, 1, don't you go dying on me. 2, stay away from the national. It's not important. Your life is more important. Other people's lives are more important also than yours. Walt Terrell, the living legend from Jeffersonville, Indiana. His life is more important than everyone else's in here, including my own. But definitely do not go to the national. It is a danger, a hotbed of activity. I heard that the Chinese have infiltrated Atlantic City, and they're licking doorknobs and handles and restaurant doors and seats, and hotels are being licked right now, left and right, by the Chinese from the Hubei province. Everything's being licked right now, and this is like right up Pepino Man's alley. But everything's being licked right now in preparation, not preparation H, but preparation for the national. And so to not leave your spouse widowed and your children without a father. I'm telling you right now, do not do the national this year. It is too dangerous. We know what happened with the Copacabana. It was definitely a reason to be up in arms and concerned about, because everything that these people were talking about came to fruition, because everybody on here knows exactly how things are going to be, because everyone on here is so smart. They have thousands of subs. They know everything. They're just like YouTube's royalty to the baseball card community. I mean, some of them even have baseball collector in their names. They're such a royal. And you should listen to everything they say, because they know everything. So do not, diverge from their, proof, because in the pudding cup, put your pudding cup out like they do in the movie Zoolander. I'm sorry, Zookeeper. Zoolander, I'm sure, does too. So everybody knows everything about all this stuff, because you have certain people in here who know what's going on. So I'm just telling you, because they were so right about the Copacabana. They were on point. They were ready. And all that stuff, exactly all this stuff. I actually had grown men call me and tell me how I was wrong to be not concerned about the Copacabana, because I obviously didn't know any better. And I was ignorant about how this was going to play out. And then they were the ones that were knowledgeable, because someone told them something. It's mind-blowing. It's all being licked. I'm licking stuff left and right here. Everything's getting licked right now. This is a licking frenzy going on. But because we have so many smart guys in this community, so many just intelligent people that know all about, possible conspiracy theories and possible, end of the world scenarios of YouTube. you got to make sure you listen to them. So I'm just cutting them off at the pass to get you all ready. Do not go to the national. Run for the hills. Protect your lives. Protect your loved ones' lives. Don't go there because there is a multitude of Chinese nationals licking everything right now, and it's not worth your life. It is not worth it. I'm going here shortly to Pittsburgh to kind of check things out to make sure everything's going to be safe for at least people in Pittsburgh because I care. I want to make sure we're safe. I cannot speak for the rest of the country, but I'm going to go there with my black light, and I'm going to just go and look at all. I'm going to go like Fiore's. I'm going to go to like Pamela's. I'm going to go to PNC Park. I'm going to go to the Heinz Museum. I'm going to check everything. The Roberto Clemente Museum. I'm going to go to the Clemente Bridge. I'm just going to check and make sure everything's safe for all of us. I'm missing some people talking. Sorry. Yeah, that's right, Doug. No one will be there. They like to play joke of beeping your Coke. That's true. Oh, you're going to make a wonton soup for us. Thank you. A very special wonton soup. Bob Juices. Yes. The Kung Flu. What? Kung Flu. Yeah, everybody was Kung Flu fighting. Those kicks and coughs and sneezes were coming as fast as lightning. Let me clear my throat. Yeah, what up? Exactly. You can't hit them J's. You hit them J's, you're gonna get the corona. You hit a J, you get the Corona 19 or COVID-19. Oh my gosh. So we live in a small town here in Indiana, outside of Indianapolis. And as you all know, my son Luca, his mother's Japanese, and obviously Luca's half Japanese. And then Luca, we were at this Mexican restaurant today, and then Luca kept sniffing in and coughing because he has allergies and everything. And his mom was like, "You need to stop. People in here are going to think because we're Asian that you got the coronavirus. You need to knock it off." Because he's like like joking around. And everybody at the restaurant was like this. And I'm like, "It's fine." We're like, "It's okay." I said, "No one here has a coronavirus. They're from Japan. It's safe." And everybody's just like back to stuffing their mouth full of burritos. But we almost had an international incident here in Indiana, and there's already coronavirus going all around us. But luckily, I saved us. We were okay. We avoided a national tragedy or catastrophe. We did not have to have 007 come and take care of business. We were okay, but it was rough. Yeah, Italy shut down. They shut the whole country down. Never heard of such a thing. The whole country of Italy, Italia, is gone. So, yes. Man, Zombie does not smoke. Can you imagine how I would act if I partook in the old the old Mary Jane, the old doob? Man. I do have a, maybe, Indianans, Hoosiers, we are usually pretty tolerant of most people. We're a kind of people that just do not push us, so we're not going to push our values on you. Don't push your values on us. We want to be left alone, and we'll leave you alone. I feel like that's a pretty traditional Hoosier perspective. It's only when people try to push things on us do we have a problem. So if you came over and start licking everything, well, that's probably going to be a problem. Probably going to be a problem. Hey, what's up, Izzy? I'm sorry I missed you. Oh, you knew a girl, Eggy, that licks things, huh? Interesting. Where do you live, Classic? Are you in Washington State? Oh, man, we already know who's going to win president, dude. We already know. I also want to establish really quick that Mark Stowe Sports is a communist. So just FYI, or what, or some kind of, is that what you were called recently, Mark? A communist? I'm not for sure, but I mean, we already know there is literally no way that Trump's not winning 2020. It's not going to happen, guys. I mean, here's the thing: you got old creepy grandpa or Uncle Joe saying all kinds of creepy stuff and smelling babies and licking people and walking up behind them and grabbing them. I mean, he's going to get slaughtered in a debate with Trump. And I'm not even a Trump fan. I don't like Trump. I don't care for the guy. But there's no way he's going to get beat by Biden. Ain't going to happen. Socialist libertarian. There you go. Oh, dude. Oh, man. You can't make that up. Dude, last name Corona. Oh, my Sharona. My Corona. Aw. Oh, yeah, for sure. Trump is creepy, too, but not in a creepy, come up behind you, sniff your hair kind of way. He's more like if you're an adult film star, creepy, with your married wife your hot married wife waiting for you at home and you're like little children. 100% I agree. But there's a March Madness right down the road from me, like 30 minutes in downtown Indianapolis from my house. They're gonna have it in town, so yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. Grab you from the front, kind of creepy. That's more like it. That is true. But let's just be honest. Joe can't even talk on his own with nobody challenging him, let alone if it was Trump challenging him in a debate. He gets himself in trouble. He was calling his wife his sister, and he like talking about, that one famous thing about the one place, and the slogan, the saying, and he was like talking about running for Senate and all. I mean, he's just one gaffe after the next. I mean, it's always like crazy. It's ridiculous. He's like talking nonsense. So it's going to be a slaughter for him. The only thing that's going to kill Trump's chances if this economy thing doesn't work itself out. But he's trying to avoid that from happening by trying to give everybody money and tax breaks and all that stuff. He's definitely trying to buy the votes for sure. But like I said, it's dangerous. It's looking pretty bad. If that's your best, if the Democratic Party's best chance is Joe Biden, wow. Sad. We need a third party. We need to get rid of the system that we have. We need to be able to get other people that get real chances to run for office, because this two-party horse race ain't working. It ain't working. I think Yanks fan, I think we all do. I think we all believe. Hey, David Mitchner, what is up? Louisville represent, baby. Wow. My homie. I don't think anybody would say, well, that's not true. I won't say that Trump is not a moron. He is. If he stayed off of Twitter and wasn't like a 15-year-old high school girl, then he probably would have 75% less headaches. But he can't help himself. Exactly, Dave. That's exactly correct. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, in my humble opinion is that there is no chance for the things to get any better. I mean, I'm really interested to see what happens as the next few months go on. I'm definitely interested to see how it shakes out. But if that's your best Democrat you got for us, I'm not convinced that that's going to help me in any way in my family. Not at all. Trump, at least you know what you're getting with Trump. I mean, he ain't trying to hide anything. He ain't pretending to be nobody else. I mean, you can hate him. That's fine. You can dislike him. You can think whatever. But you know exactly where he stands on the issues. He doesn't try to pander. You know? So it's like, at least you know this time around what's going to happen. There's not going to be any surprises. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, Hillary making a comeback. That'd be so sweet. So sweet. For sure. For sure. Yeah, air traffic controllers are so overrated anyways, for sure. Oh, yeah, what a time to be in the U.S. Jeez Louise. I mean, like, here's the thing. I honestly believe I'm not a conspiracy theorist, a conspiracy theorist. I don't know if that's the right word. My mind is like already like a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I guess that's the right word. I can't even think of it now. Um, but I really think that Biden's going to pick a female to be his running mate, whoever it may be, Klobuchar, Kamala Harris. Is that her name? I always think of Kamala like the wrestler from the 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 jungles of the Congo or the Uganda. Kamala from wrestling. But he's gonna then declare he has dementia, which we already all know, and then he will go into the sunset, and then whoever is his vice VP will become president. That's what I think is gonna happen because there ain't no way he's gonna last 4 years. He's already by the time if he became president, he'll be 78 years old. Donald Trump is the youngest guy in the race. Can you imagine? Think about that, guys. He is the young man at 72 years old in this race. I thought the Democrats were supposed to be a party of diversity and young people, and then you got the two oldest, whitest guys on stage. It is literally a nightmare. Like, you think you're gonna wake up from it, but you never do. It's creepy, man. Hey, what up, King Arthur? So I don't think there's a pandemic in India or in America. I think it's all been overblown by the media because it helps them with their narrative that they want to get rid of Trump and destroy the stock market and people's money. It fell right into their laps. And Trump, again, because he doesn't have any control of his mouth, ruins it either via Twitter or just shooting from the hip, pew, pew, and doesn't think things through, and he doesn't help a situation. And so, but it's not a pandemic. People are getting better. It's not all over the world. It's not like wiping people out. It's like the flu. Guess what? It is the flu. It's a little bit more aggressive version of the flu. I'm not a doctor, but if you listen to any single person, if I was, it'd be Dr. Payne, and that'd be epic if I was a doctor. But everybody tells you, and most importantly, Dr. Drew, which is who I go to get all my medical advice from, it's like the flu part due. It's a little bit stronger. It's a little bit more aggressive. But again, unless you're an older person who already has health problems and have a compromised system, you're fine. Like everyone's saying that. Every single person's saying that, except the media who's like, we're all going to die. Like Chicken Little, like when we go back to the Copacabana thing, where everybody's like, it's all over. YouTube's over. YouTube community, the baseball community is over. That's what's happening right now with the media because it helps them try to get Trump out of office. Like I heard somebody say this is true. If Trump literally went to every single person who has a coronavirus, he sucked it out of their system. Like think about like the Green Mile, Michael Clark Duncan's character. If he sucks it out of everybody's system, he goes to the bottom of the ocean and releases it. Everybody's healthy and safe. Then he would be in trouble for polluting the ocean. And that is 100% a fact. So there's nothing that he could do that would help them. He was proactive in keeping people from leaving and coming from China. He closed out. Everybody said that was xenophobic and racist. And then they're like, he's not doing enough. If it wasn't for what he did, it would be way worse than it is right now. And anybody who says that's not true, they're just their heads in the sand and they're so far gone. They're a Bernie bro and bros before hoes, man, because apparently that's what's going on here. So, sorry. All far, yeah. Exactly. I agree. Yeah. Kudos. Corner, you're 100% right. He ruins it every single time by opening his mouth. Just take your accomplishments and then move on. He has no idea how to do that. He is unable, because he's a man-child, to be able to just pat himself on the back behind closed doors and then take the ball and keep moving forward. He has to just keep on shoving it in people's faces or ruining his achievements by doing something ridiculous or saying something ridiculous. I completely agree. Dave, I don't blame you. Yes. I'm trying to get caught up. I'm seeing all these people on here. Man, dude, I got so many. All right, we're in an upload, download. Where else? After another. Yep. Zombie. Hey, what up, King Arthur? Yep. Congrats on 4. Oh, thanks, man. I had like 403 or 4, and then I must have said something to somebody somewhere, and I went down to like 400. So, and before the end of tonight, I'm sure I'll be down to like 350. So I'm shooting for 350. All right. I will not be. I don't disagree with you, Jeff. That's probably what he's going to try to do. They all promised everybody everything. So, at this point, you have to pick. You forgot to mention like a midget transgender, and then Jeff, then you would have everybody else covered, if that's such a thing. Those boomers. President, yeah. He don't self-identify as president. Nice. What's up, Ray? Yeah, buddy. Life is, dude. Hey, look at King Arthur, man. He's dropping some truth bombs on us. Sorry, guys, I got kind of quiet, but I'm just trying to get caught up, man. There's a lot of good stuff on here. Oh, yeah, well, the press doesn't care about nobody but themselves. The whole Kentucky Christian whatever kids thing last year, where they try to paint all those kids as racists, horrible racist people, and then they're like, oh, whoops, awkward. There's nothing that you can't trust the media, and I'm talking about on all sides. You have to get your news from alternate sources that are not your mainstream media sources, because they literally are in the tank for the liberal agenda and Democrats. And if you're like Fox News, for generally speaking, a conservative Republican slant. So it's hard to find just straight up news. So without a doubt. Ron. Right, exactly. It is dangerous for the elderly, but that's true. But the flu is dangerous for the elderly. I think I read somewhere they said like 17,000 plus Americans die of the flu every year. And I would say 90% of those people are elderly. So that number is no different than any other person who gets the flu. If you get the flu and you're old and you already have a compromised system, then you're going to probably have a hard time, kicking it. And I don't mean kicking it like kick the bucket. I mean kicking the flu. But that's no different than anything else. Trump, what did somebody say about Trump? Crunchy. That's very possible. Yeah. Man, that's what I talked about, dude. Don't go to the National. We're not going to the National. I'm telling everybody now to stay away from the National because of the coronavirus. You got to get away. But Pito Man's going to be there licking all the cards. It's not worth taking one for the team for that, man. You just got to stay away, dude. You got to stay away, man. Corona's all over those cards. Oh man. Stop. Well, people. A whole lot of free healthcare is coming our way, guys, so don't worry. So Vox is real news. Oh my gosh. That Let's Be Queer. What's his name? That Let's Be Queer. I can't remember his name, but yeah, the one who goes around like trying to police everybody's free speech, but then he gets away with it. From Vox. Carlos Mandisa or something. Mendez. Carlos Manny. Oh yeah, well the guy that runs one of the main guys at Fox News, he goes around tries to like rat people out, conservatives who he thinks hurts his feelings, but then he gets away with it. Yeah, I can't. His name was Carlos something, I think. Mendez, I don't know. It's some ridiculous stuff like that. Something like that. Oh geez, you gotta talk. Don't go to your Target, man. Target, you could be a dude and go to the women's bathroom at Target. You go and lick all the women's unmentionables at the Target because apparently you can go to Target and go to the bathroom however you feel, whatever you're feeling like that night. You're just like, hey guys, I feel like a lesbian transgender midget who happens to really love baseball cards. I'm gonna go here and lick all the handles and the soap dispenser and the toilet rack, because that's what I'm all about, the Target, because I feel like a woman today. Apparently you can do those kind of things. I'm just saying. Exactly. Alcohol kills it. Yeah, there he goes. Mazza. That's his name. I knew somebody would know it. Oh no, he's still there. He's still there, dude. Like he just did a thing about how he tried to ruin people who what was the situation? You try to go up against people who are wealthy and have money and try to be the socialist thing of like taking everything away from them. And then lo and behold, he found out that his family and he himself came from money. I mean, it's like typical liberal ridiculousness. Do what we say, but don't do as we do. So I'm going to live like a king. I'm going to have all this money and all these houses and all this stuff. But you can't have it. I can have it because you got to listen to what I tell you, because what I tell you is for your own good. But I'm going to do the exact opposite of that. That's your typical run-of-the-mill liberal. It's getting ridiculous for sure. Oh, are you being serious right now, King Arthur? I can't tell if you're joking or not, but we don't even want to get into that. We do not want that. Will set the interwebs on fire. Exactly, Ron. You got that right. Well, you hear about all kinds of stories now about, here's the thing. If I was a mother of a young girl, or any girl for that matter, and there was some dude in the bathroom because he felt like a woman and he's in there with the bathroom, that is completely an uncomfortable, unnecessary situation to be in. I don't care how you feel about it. I want you to take your daughter into that same bathroom, or just let your daughter go there by herself. If you feel like it's that, no problems, no worry, no concern, that people just overreacting, then let your little girl or little girls go into the bathroom when you know there's a grown man and they're waiting for you, waiting for your kids, just because you don't want to be that guy. You don't be that guy that comes across that you're being judgmental or you're closed-minded or you're some kind of bigot, because you don't want to be that guy. So go ahead and send your little girls in there. Send your wife into the bathroom with some dude that's in there with a full-on beard and, whatever. Go right on ahead. I want you to do it. And let me know how that works out for you. And of course, any decent parent would be super concerned. I don't care who you are. John. That's right. Bottom line collector, 100%. Oh, really? Okay. I honestly thought he was still at Vox. I know he was with Vox up until last year, so maybe in the last, handful of months or so, because I know that he had a big knockdown drag out with Crowder. He tried to get Crowder banned and taken down because of his whole "let's be queer" comment. So yeah, but yeah, that sounds okay. It just happened because, like I said, I get my news from everywhere. Like I'm not like a conservative only. I'm just going to get my news from Fox News. Like not at all, because I feel like I'm a thinking man person. Like I get my news from a lot of people. I listen to a lot of people talk. I listen to the actual from the horse's mouth, even so some of them look like horses, like AOC. I listen to what they have to say, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the America that I live in? Because I don't want to live in this America. But unfortunately, I'm stuck here, apparently. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been definitely stirring. I've been stirring the pot for going on 3 or 4 years now. So I don't feel like anybody's surprised by what I'm saying, that's for sure. Like I said, I'm trying to lose like 50 subscribers between now and tomorrow. Oh, I know. Hey, I was in Japan. As soon as Obama became president, I left for Japan for years. So, but like everybody else, I came back. So, but at least I kept my word when I left. Like after he became president, I left. Unlike so many other people, it's like, if Trump's president, I'm leaving. I'm just going to Canada. And guess what? They're still here. They never left. For sure. Yeah. I get my news from Inside Edition. Oh, yeah, as you should. That's awesome. Dude, working for a Japanese company has its pros and cons, that's for sure. Phil's Pulls, man. I don't know much about Phil's Pulls, but I know he's all about just the subs. And I mean, he's kind of like our own personal Phil Filmington. He just cares about the subs, about the money, about the financial support. He cares about all the swag. He cares about long walks in the park, golf clubs, frozen ice cubes. I mean, things that mostly our Phil cares about. I mean, we all BLC, bottom line. I mean, we all can say that. That's like me saying I have a black friend. I mean, like we all can say we have gay friends that aren't like that. I'm not saying that everyone's like that. I'm saying that there's a concentrated effort to push people to think that if it's okay, if you have to think of yourself as a bad person to actually go, it's not acceptable for my daughters to have to worry about a man going into a woman's bathroom to whip out his junk and to say that's not correct and right. They should go to the men's restroom, but because they feel like a woman, they're trying to make people feel that way, that if you feel like that you're wrong for feeling that way. That's unacceptable. You should go to the bathroom at whatever gender you are. And none of this ridiculousness of transgender ridiculousness. It's whatever. So now men can go and compete against women in every facet of life. It's so funny because I have so many of my friends that are gay that's like, that makes no sense. Gay people, not transgender people. Gay people like, it's ridiculous. So you have it on all sides. So everybody has those things. Well, that's fine. Those people can have those things. Here's the thing. It all should just be solo toilets and you have a lock on the door. It doesn't matter what your gender is. That's what it should boil down to. That's what it should boil down to. We don't need to have a 6-stall bathroom. Everybody just can wait their turn. It could be like those family bathrooms that a lot of restaurants and a lot of businesses have. You just have a family bathroom, have 2 or 3 of those, and then you just wait your turn. You lock the door, you go in there and take care of your business, whatever that may be, and you're done. But it's ridiculous because you hear all these stories, but you never see it on the regular. You don't see it again on regular news because it goes against the narrative that children and women have to worry about being, oogled and fondled and everything else by creepy dudes that have the access now to go in there because they feel like a woman. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's not even something that we should even have to worry about or think about. That's the world we live in now, that if, like some of you are even saying, well, it's not even something I even have to think about, but you would think about it if you had a little girl. And if you don't, then I guess roll the dice and good luck. Obviously, you don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. Of course not. But you also have to not have your head so far in the sand to believe it's not going to happen, because we live in a world where bad things happen. And you're a parent, and you're like, that's like the parent who lets their kid fall in the pit with Harambe because she wasn't paying attention, and then the kid falls into the enclosure, and Harambe attacks the child. They shoot Harambe. It wasn't Harambe's fault that the kid fell in, but the mother turned away because of her lack of parenting. So you can send your kid into a situation that's very dangerous and then roll the dice. Maybe they're going to be fine, and more than likely they are, but still, maybe not. And you should, as a parent, been there to protect your kid. And I can avoid all those things by just saying, I don't think it's going to be an acceptable option ever to send my kid into a situation like that because of the weird, creepy nature that we live in now. Porta potties, sweet. The chrome. What when are did it? Boudays? Oh yeah, Coco. Yeah, I love Coco, the sign language gorilla, man. When here in Indiana, there's a orangutan exhibit, like sanctuary, and they've taught some of the orangutan sign language, which is super cool. I love that. Well, I'm glad to hear that, bottom line collector. Coco, man. R.I.P., baby. R.I.P. to Coco. R.I.P. Coco. I mean, I personally am going for Harambe. I'm putting Harambe in on my ballot this year. I'm putting Harambe for El Presidente. That's what I'm doing. Dude, here's the thing. No one knows about Pete Buttigieg because he was a terrible mayor. No one in South Bend would ever bring him back as a mayor of anything. And everybody in America thinks he's the greatest thing because he's gay. He's a gay military guy. Apparently, that's all it takes now. There's a hierarchy with the liberal Democratic Party that you hit certain plateaus that takes you above other people. Gay gets you this far. A gay woman here. A gay black woman here. A gay transgender male who identifies as an Eskimo, who also lost a leg in Nam, gets up here. So it's just different. I mean, there is certain levels of victimhood that will get you further down the line. That's for sure. I don't watch John. I don't watch that guy. That guy's a scumbag. I know I've said it 1,000 times. Excuse me. The coronavirus just came upon me. I don't watch that guy. I watched him when I first came around, or he first came around. Don't do the total scumbag. I don't understand how people who I feel like are good people that I know personally or through here in some ways actually like Eric Jabs, like think he's a good dude, like think what he's doing like it's God's work or something. I don't get it. Like he's a complete douchebag. I don't worry, Ron. I don't want to. I mean that's no one knows the day or the hour. I mean, the Lord comes in a thief of the night and takes you. So I mean, it happens. But for sure. And I agree with you, Phil, about Mayor Pete. He hasn't accomplished anything. If anything, he didn't do hardly anything while he was the mayor of South Bend. I mean, it's ridiculous. I can't. But that's the liberal media for you. They're like, gay military guy. He has to be great, and they don't even look at the actual on him substance. There's no substance to him. His whole thing was he was very smart and a very good orator, and that's what got him. That's what he got him where he's at. But as soon as the rubber hit the road, he faded away real quick. So. I mean, I'm trying to say, what do you think about bringing back the way of thinking of Tombstone? I'll be a huckleberry if all this. Okay. I think men should be men. I don't really know what you're saying for sure there, but I could be wrong. Oh, he had a girlfriend. He's not even divorced from his wife yet. He already had a girlfriend. Oh my gosh, that guy, dude. Oh my gosh. Mayor Pete's lame in every way, every possible way. I just was like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, it's such an embarrassment. For sure. Here's the thing, dude. I'll put it out there because I know it don't. I mean, I feel like people probably got a good vibe, but I don't mind being honest. Here's my problem. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with anybody with anything. Let me say that. I don't care about that stuff. I care about it when it's pushed down my throat. That's what I care about. And pushed upon my family. And like try to make everything about it like it's just like a normal life. Like if it's so normal, then just live your life. Quit telling us all how gay you are, how trans you are. Just live your life. I don't run around with people. I don't think most people run around saying how straight they are and how much straight sex they're having and how kids can be straight. Let kids be kids. There should be nothing pushed upon kids in any way, shape, and form. It's ridiculous. It is a world we live in now that you're trying to tell me that a 12-year-old child, like, who can't like actually do things, like they can't like even ride their bike safely from point A to point B, or they struggle with math, or they don't know how to like boil an egg, but they know they want to become a girl. Like it doesn't even make sense. It's like ludicrous. It's literally doesn't even make sense. When you're an adult, you can choose to do whatever you want. I might not agree with it, but that's the world we live in. That's fine. I don't care. Live your life how you want to be lived, but don't tell me if I don't agree with you that somehow I'm a small-minded, bigot, homophobe. Because that is, I refuse to accept that. Just like you refuse to accept that I say keep your bedroom shenanigans private. No, you want to flaunt it around. Like no one should care. I don't give a care, and nor should you. But the thing is like pushing an agenda on children is where I get super, super pissed off. Leave it all alone. Stay away from the children. Let people live their lives. I don't care what you're doing in your bedroom. It does no effect on me. How I believe as a Christian, of course, it's gonna look. I look at things in a different manner. But I'm taking that out of it. Just as a human being living in America, like just live your life. I have plenty of. I know. Basic card collector. I'm not for sure his name. I'm sorry if or whatever it was. He was saying something. Oh my gosh, dude. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now, Jeff? Are you not looking around like every single television show has like gay everything, trans everything on shows and movies now? Like they're pushing this agenda on kids. Like they make a big production every time a new movie or TV show or whatever has some kind of gay character or a trans character. Like it's a celebration. There's like drag library readings all over the United States now. Like it's a thing. There was a thing where there was like a kid's birthday party had a drag queen strip thing, like stripping, like doing provocative dancing. I mean, like It's going all over the place. And it's probably not in the mainstream media because it's something they don't want people to see too often, because then they're like, dang, this is like a little bit probably too much, too fast. But it's like, if you look around, they're trying to normalize all this behavior. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Where was this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, 20, 25 years ago? It wasn't there. Now all of a sudden it's like normal. It's like, give me a break. There's nothing normal about them. They're trying to tell you that's normal. That's normal. And I'm like, that is not normal. 1% of the population who lives this lifestyle is not normal. That is not a normal thing. It's mind-boggling that people try to make you sound like, and if you're talking about gay people, that's 3% of the population. So let's just say you put everything together, a total of 5% of the 5% of the total population is trying to push an agenda on the other 95%. It does not make any sense. So, I mean, you can take it for whatever it's worth. You know, it is what it is. It's my personal opinion. Keep it in your bedroom. Keep it, you know, just like anybody who is heterosexual. I don't need to know your heterosexual activities. Live your life. Be happy. Pursuit of happiness. I don't need to know your closet scenario in your private home. What's going on? No one cares. It gets ridiculous. That I mean, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Just to give you like another perspective, if there was Mike Pence pushing a Christian agenda on the nation, Bible this, you know, everything, Bible this, Christian teaching that, pushing this on you. Every program had a Christian character. Every movie had some message about Jesus in it. People would lose their minds. People would be like, why is everything about Jesus right now? Everything about Christians right now? People would lose their minds because they don't want to be inundated with that. If you know where to find it, you'll go look and find it. If you don't want to be inundated, you don't want to turn on your local television show or movie and then have to see all this. It's the same principle of the thing. That's the thing I don't understand. People don't want to be pushed religion on them, and I understand, but we don't also want to be pushed on this. I don't want to be pushed about how I need to all of a sudden accept that a 12-year-old should be able to chop off their wigwam and be a woman, or a girl, I should say. It doesn't, and I should accept that as acceptable. As a father of a little boy, that is not something I'm going to ever accept and or tolerate other people telling me to accept it. It's absolutely mind-blowing to think that. Wing Wong! They're looking at everything. I'm trying to read. Oh, Eggy. I'm sure we're all learning a lot, but you know, and it's okay, man. Like I said, it's okay. We're all there. It is a wingwam's an Asian thing. I always try to introduce new words to all you round eyes out there. So right. Just be yourself. Be yourself. That's the thing. If you're being yourself, you don't need to push anything on anybody. Just live your life. People are going to like you or they're not going to like you. End of story. You're going to go through your entire life. It has nothing to do with your sexuality, and people are going to not like you. Case in point, this guy right here. No one's probably going, I don't like Jason because he's straight. They're like, I don't like Jason because he's opinionated, small-minded jagoff. That's fine. They don't like me. They don't like me that I challenge other people or call them out or not let things slide. And that's okay. You can go through life not liking somebody, and that's okay. But we're trying to tell you now, the society, that if you don't like somebody for their life choices, that somehow you're wrong for believing that. It is absolutely unacceptable. You don't have to like somebody for a multitude of reasons. And I can like people for the very reason you don't like somebody, I can like them, and vice versa. I don't know where I know. See, John, you know. I learned that when I was in Pittsburgh. Yes, I love that word. I use it on a regular basis. Here in Indiana, everybody's probably like, what's a jagoff? But I use it all the time. Total square, exactly. Jeff knows. I'm a total square, and I'm okay with that. Total square. I mean, that's the thing, though, guys. At the end of the day, it's okay to have difference of opinion. I mean, I know that me and Phil, and I think me and Jeff have had some talks, and even Ahmed at some point on conversations. I don't agree with those guys on everything, and I know they don't agree with me, but I mean, I still can have a conversation, have a civil conversation with somebody, and you can share ideas or opinions or what you perceive as your personal truth, which is what everybody says now. It's all about your personal truth. You don't need facts anymore. You just need a truth that, even though the truth isn't based in fact, and when you present facts, that hurts people's feelings a lot of times, but you still can get along with people and be okay. Like, I don't understand where we've come to as a society where if you disagree with somebody or you don't agree with their lifestyle, and it doesn't have anything to do with your sexuality, by the way, it could be anything. Like, if you're having an affair on your wife, that's a POS thing to do, and I would tell you to your face, you're a POS. It has zero, and that's heterosexual lovemaking. I would still treat you the same way that I treat anybody else who did something I didn't agree with. Like, it's messed up. But somehow we live in a world that you can say all those things to people, that's okay. But you say something to some like classified, sensitive group of people, somehow you're a small-minded bigot and a hate monger, which makes no sense. You don't care what I think anyways. Why do you care how I feel about it? Just move on. Take your show and take it elsewhere. It doesn't make sense that you have people now that are trying to be like, oh, you can't be like that. You can't feel that way. You can't have those opinions. It's like this thought police, which it really is, trying to tell you how to believe and how to think. And if you don't believe or think like them, that you have a problem. Man, look at King Arthur. He's going. He's getting lit. Oh, I guess I'm missing stuff. People are getting. Hey, I will tell you guys, don't unless somebody's making something personal to me or to somebody else, because I'm not catching everything. Don't kick anybody or mute them or whatever. Just let them do what they're saying, because I'm all about free speech. I'm all about the flow of free ideas and thinking. Like, I'm not in the business of censoring anybody because I don't want to be censored. So I will say, like, if somebody's like being like mean-spirited and hateful, that's a different story. I don't want anybody to be mean-spirited or hateful. But if people just sharing thoughts and ideas, then I don't have a problem. Oh, just for no reason, I'll just start bouncing people. That's fine. That'll give people a reason to be like, oh, look at Jason using those people to be bouncing them all the time and kicking people out. Hey, what's up, Henry? Oh yeah, Saved by the Bell. They're like a little theme song. But yeah, man. I mean, guys, at the end of the day, just live your life. Don't push it on other people. Everybody should be good, dude. Don't be pushing your personal opinions on other people. If somebody asks you, then of course. If they ask you, then you can obviously do that. That's a different story. When somebody asks you your opinion, then they're asking you to share your thoughts. Uh-oh. We got somebody blocking somebody. You put John in timeout. John's coming for you, Mark, if you're not careful. So, I don't know. I get maybe some people understand where I'm coming from. I think some people understand where I'm coming from. I feel like other people feel like, I'm taking things maybe too hard line of approach. That's fine. But at the end of the day, we all come to our, what's the word I'm looking for? We come to where we are with our values and our morals based on your life experience and what you've experienced personally, either through the way you were raised, the people you surround yourself with. If you're a person who has a faith and how you view things through the lens of faith, that's where you're going to come up with your ideas, regardless if it's good or bad from the other people's perspectives. That's where you're at, And hey, what's up, Mez? I could disagree with somebody wholeheartedly and and still be able to walk away shaking their hands and be their friend. Now, I can't say that is how they might feel. They might feel offended or triggered or upset or hurt in some way, whether that's not the intention. But I'm also not going to change who I am or anything for somebody else. Then I'm not being truthful to who I am. And, that's the thing. I think somebody mentioned earlier about something about, I have gay, the one guy goes, I have gay friends or gay, whatever. No one shares. Everybody's entitled to share their stories and things. And and share their personal stories of their life. And, I don't share this with people. I've never shared this. I'm going to leave the person's name out. But just to kind of share with you a personal scenario that happened to me growing up, my best friend, which I'm going to leave their names out or his name out because I don't want to, just by some unknown chance that this would get back to him or whatever. But him and I were best friends in middle school. We were in theater together and drama. We were in choir, chorus, music theater, drama. And we spent essentially every waking moment together we could from 6th grade on. And, he was always a little bit different, but I didn't care. He was my friend. I didn't care if he was a little bit different. He didn't really have a lot of guy friends. I was pretty much his only guy friend, And exactly. A lot of people thought I was growing up in school. In high school, I was in plays, drama, music theater. It was a thing. And that's the reason why I feel like, at the end of the day, I've had plenty of experiences in my life. And not that I'm by any means an expert, not at all, but it's I feel like I formed these opinions based on life experience, not based on what somebody told me on a TV show what to believe or to think. But so my best friend, him and I would, we would stay the night at each other's house. And we had a great time growing up. But then when we got to be about 9th grade, I guess, things had started changing, I guess you could say, a little bit or whatnot. And then one thing led to another. And we had a little bit of a spat. And, I never knew what it was about. And then as we got older, we got closer again as we got older, but we had a little bit of time. But apparently he was hurt by the fact that I was not comfortable as, 14, 15-year-old to be sleeping in the same bed together anymore. When we were little kids, when we were 11, 12, and 13, he had this huge bed. We would sleep in the bed together. But then when we got older, I was like, hey, I'll sleep on the couch. And he got offended. And it hurt his feelings. And I didn't understand that because I wasn't going through what he was going through. He was looking at things from a totally different perspective. Not me. I'm not reading all the comments, but you all, I'm letting you all go. That's spat, right? I'm aware of the words I'm using here, guys. So anyways, he got his feelings hurt. And so we kind of our friendship fell apart. And then when I was a sophomore, we ended up in a lot of the same classes again, a lot of the same theater classes and stuff. And we kind of rekindled our friendship, and we were able to get back together and, hang out a lot. And he understood. And the reason I say all this is because we were friends all the way through the rest of high school. Sophomore through senior year, we were friends. And we were, like I said, I was his only really guy friend. Even when we stopped being friends, he only really hung around with girls. And then when we started hanging out again, he finally came out and said, that, at the time he said he loved person. I'll never forget this. He said, I'm not gay at the time. He goes, I love personalities. And if that personality is on a girl, then I would love a girl. But that personality is on a guy, then I would love a guy. And I remember being in the car driving thinking because it was the first person I ever met. This is back in the 90s that ever said anything like that. I'd never heard anyone ever say that before. He was the very first one. And then fast forward years later, when we were in college, he decided to go through the transition, going from male to female. and he changed his name, and he started going to these clubs in Louisville, which I used to go with him a lot. There's a real popular club in Louisville called Connections. It's a gay club, and I used to go when I was in high school and in college. And as a young adult, I'd go there too, some, but mostly high school and college. And they had a drag show there every weekend. Every Saturday night, they had a drag show. We would go. And he ended up becoming one of the headliners. And, we would still be friends, even though our lives were at very drastic places, different. I mean, I was going to school to do ministry. And, he was becoming a drag queen and transgender. So there was definitely a parting of ways mindset. But the thing about it was that we were still friends. I mean, we still hung out. He obviously saw where I was coming from. I knew where he was going, but we still had a connection. We still, we're still pals. We're still buddies. And, and he was just living his life. And we had a connection since we were 13-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids, however you are when you're in sixth grade. And that never changed. It doesn't change now. I mean, it is what it is. But, he's just lived his life as a normal person. I mean, he doesn't push anything. And, he just lives his life, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not trying to say that him and I are best buds. We hang out and we're friends no, not at all. But I mean, it is what it is. It just, you have that progression. I've seen the beginning of where he was and where he is now. And he's still the person I grew up with as a kid, And I believe he thinks of me in the same way. I mean, we've had conversations a lot. And, and there's some of him who pushes a little bit hard about who he is. Like, it's about his lifestyle choices. And I always would tell him, like, I just want to talk to you about you. I don't really care about your extracurricular activities. Just like, what's going on in your life? What's going on with how's your folks doing? How's your mom and dad? How's your brothers and your sister? Those kind of things. So I try to steer the conversation back just about the things that tell us who we are as people, not about our personal lives and evolving relationships, which, it is, like, that's not really what it's about. I feel like, we have a good, healthy relationship still today. And that's been 25 years, I guess, or longer, maybe. I mean, I was graduating in the late 90s. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I mean, we were friends back in 92. So, yeah, I mean, so it was pretty long time. So, anyways, I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like, for all of us, we all might have stories similar to that where you had experiences or whatever, and it shapes your perspective. And I tell everybody that story to tell everybody, it shapes who you are and how you look at life. And you may not have that exact same experience maybe you had or something similar, but it could shape how you view things. And I can tell you the thing that hurts me the most is that I was his best friend for so many years. And then he never told, him and I talked, and he never told me what was the catalyst that caused him to go this direction of the lifestyle choices he made. And it bothers me still to this day because he never felt like he could be honest with me. And he said that when he was in elementary school, one of his friends' older brother had done things to him, I guess, on a regular basis that caused him to be, I don't know the word, questioning or uncomfortable, or of course he was abused. And I was like, how can you not tell me this? How can we've gone a 15 years and you've never shared this with me, dude? I was like so hurt. And he said he didn't think I could. I remember him telling me, he goes, I didn't think you would still want to be my friend if I told you what happened to me when I was like a 10-year-old kid. And I was like, dude, like, why would you think that? I'm like, that's not, if anything, I would be there for you. Like, how would that change how I feel about you? You're still my best friend. I love you, like, you're my best friend. Like, that doesn't change anything. Aside from one other guy, I was the closest I was ever to this guy. And And I was just really hurt by that, because either that means that he never felt, and I mean, he told me he never felt like he could, I guess if he said it out loud, like it's acknowledging it, it would become real. And then maybe that's the reason why. And of course, he didn't want to get in trouble or get somebody in trouble, because we were kids. So he kept it to himself. But I was like, dude, you should be able to trust me with these kind of things. I'm like, I will be your biggest champion. And I remember thinking, like, how awful has he had to hold and hide the secret all this time? And I'll never forget that. And I remember thinking, like, maybe there's something I said or did as a kid that made him feel like he couldn't tell me the truth. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he never said that. But I mean, that's a big thing. It's awful. Absolutely awful. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget, like, just being, like, completely just caught off guard with that. And I was like, what kind of friend? I said, what kind of friend have to hold that in that whole time? Like, keep that a secret. And you can't share that with somebody. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I don't think any of us would want to imagine that. And I remember thinking he was carrying this by himself. He was by himself this whole time, carrying this horrible thing that happened to him, this tremendous burden that he could never share because he was afraid of how it was going to be taken or perceived. And I'm not trying to say every single person who has been abused, that's the lifestyle they choose. I'm not making that declaration. I do think things like that happens, and it obviously confuses children, and then maybe confuse adults for sure. I'm not trying to make a blanket statement that A happened because of B, not at all. In this case, that's what happened. I'm not saying that's the case in every situation at all. I'm just saying I was so traumatized that I just was, like, unable to get him to not feel like he could tell me those things until we were in our 20s. I remember talking to him. I don't know. I can't even remember. I think it was face to face. And somehow one thing led to another. I could tell he wanted to tell me. And he told me. And I remember just being just like, oh my gosh, man. Like, how do we go this whole time without you ever being able to share this with me? And he just, like I said, he just said he didn't know how I would react. And I felt so like I failed him as a friend. I'm like, how do you think I'm gonna react, man? I love you. You're my best friend. Like, how is that gonna change how I feel about you? So yeah, it was tough, man. But when people say stuff like, well, you don't know, or I have friends like this, or I have friends like that, but you don't know about people's situations. People just don't know. You don't know where people come from and how they got there. Just because I have this friend who had this lifestyle and this choice that he decided to become, man to woman or whatever, I got there because I've had experiences like this. And it's still, just because I had that doesn't mean that I don't love him any more or any less. But I still have to feel like I still stand on what I believe is right and wrong in my view of what's acceptable or what's not. And that might not be something that you would agree with, but I didn't get here because I saw some bumper sticker that tell me how to feel. I got here because it took me a while to understand and how I feel right now to get to this place. It doesn't happen overnight. So, best baseball card video ever. Phil, you guys. Have you ever been to Turkey? You ever seen a grown man naked? You like watching prison films? Oh my gosh. But yeah, guys. So yeah, I was shocked. There was like between 19 and 20 something people in here while I was talking about my best friend who transitioned to become a woman from middle school to adulthood. That's something that I shocked by. I feel like there'd be like nobody in here at that point. They'd be like tumbleweeds rolling through. So yeah, I think we all can share stories like that. Though we've all had, everybody has their life experience dictates who they are, and and sometimes who you are to other people, you're not compatible with. It's not a good fit, and that's okay. I mean, again, it's okay to go your life and not like somebody or not want to be around them. It's okay. I mean, like I said, it doesn't mean that you hate them or you want anything bad to happen to them. It just means that you look at things differently and that's okay to part ways. I think so many people get hung up on everybody's got to like everybody and everything. We got one big hug, kumbaya fest, and that's just not real life. I mean, it's just not real. Oh man, so that's good. Oh man, my first run-in with the police, dude. In America or in Japan? I feel like I've shared my Japan story at least once, but I got ran into the police in Japan and then also in America. I don't know if anybody wants to stay for that. That might be too much for people. It's nowhere near as enthralling, but Eggy was definitely getting a little bit excited about that video with my friend. So, but anyways, yeah, man, who knew you would come on this channel? We talk about the coronavirus, homosexuality, transgender, childhood friends, the national, we're talking about all kinds of stuff for this, man. Like who would have thought on a Tuesday night it'd be that much craziness going on here? Hey, what's up, Joel? You're right. They just let anybody go. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. They just let anybody up here and just do videos. I'll be surprised if this video stays up, quite frankly, because so many hot button topics I discussed, and I'm sure I said things that hurt people's feelings, that somebody will report this video, but I hope people see my heart, not actually see it, but feel it when I'm saying, like, these are just thoughts I'm putting out there in the interwebs. It's not like to make people get super hurt or upset, but it's never, you can't control it. I've been going for an hour and 17 minutes, Joel. Yeah. Hey, Mikey, what's up, brother? Yeah, I think that's what this video began as. I've talked about the coronavirus and the national being canceled. So it's definitely getting canceled. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I will tell you, has anybody watched the movie Harriet? It came out this past year. And about Harriet Tubman, I would assume people get what I'm, know what I'm talking about. But I will tell you, I watched that movie. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. Has anybody else seen the movie Harriet? Because I'm going to still probably just tell you my 2 cents, my $.circle.000.02. But about it regardless. But yeah, that might be something that's going to trigger some people too. Because, if LBGTQ, ABC, rainbow people, whatever, doesn't offend you, I'm sure race relations will do it for you, or their lack of. So this movie Harriet, which I watched in the entirety because I was super interested in the topic. There's never been a film to my knowledge about Harriet Tubman. She is the one who invented the bathtub. This is correct. I learned a lot of information. Now the thing is, I don't know how much of it's accurate, but that goes with any docudrama, drama based on a true story stuff. So this is not a unique situation by any stretch to Harriet Tubman. That's for sure. But what I did find to be interesting, I don't know if some of you might be friends with me on Facebook, so you might have saw my little short synopsis of the film. Yes, what's up? Bowman 53 Alex, what is up? I think we all should vote against the coronavirus. But my thoughts about Harriet is this, and maybe Alex has seen this movie, or maybe he might know a little bit about it, I'm not for sure. But the thing I kind of noticed was that they made Harriet Tubman into like an X-Man. And I was kind of confused because they're trying to make it out to her to be some kind of like what do you call, like some kind of savant, some kind of, you know, she has like ESPN or something, and and she was able to see things before they happened, and they were trying to make it after her be some kind of, like I said, X-Men character, and I was confused because I feel like it took away from her as just, you know, working for the Underground Railroad, her being an extremely intelligent person who was able to, like, I think I said she did like 11 trips to the South and rescued 70 slaves, and that in itself is a story to be told and to be shared and to champion. Without a doubt, there should not have been any need for X-Men type situations to happen in this movie. But there are scenes in the movie that makes no sense, and maybe it's a part of the legend that is Harriet Tubman. I don't know. But she would like have these spells where she'd fall down in the middle of the house, forest, lakes, and that they would these were like, I guess they're trying to allude that these were images or premonitions from God that things were going to happen before they happened. And I'm not a connoisseur or a Harriet Tubman in the Harriet Tubman fan club, but I felt like that was so ridiculous that they took away from her just being an amazing woman. And she had nothing to do with possible X-Men type abilities. Like she's some kind of mutant, and just been like, hey, this woman did amazing things, put her life on the line multiple times to save people. But we're going to take away all that so she can have these moments where she is falling down and tripping throughout the forests and houses and super danger zones where like evil white people, all these evil crackers are chasing her down with their dogs and shotguns and ropes and everything else. So she can have a moment of a 1 minute to 30-second moment of it all like transpiring before her eyes so she knows what to do. Instead of her just being like awesome. You know, I was just like, I don't get it. Yeah, maybe that's true. It was just kind of like, I didn't understand. I felt like it just kind of ruined the movie. Like, why? We don't need that. You know, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like she did so many great things. Like I learned that apparently she also was a scout for the North, and it was involved in a battle that helped get them, you know, the upper hand in one of the battles fighting the South. I'm like, these are awesome, and they gloss over that in the movie, and I'm like, what in the world, dude? Like, what in the world? Like, that is a story by itself. And then you have like 7 scenes in the movie where she's falling on the ground and like being in this like comatose state, somewhat euphoric, for her to pop back up with her like now educated, transcontinental nitroglycerin drop acid trip that she just had. And now she knows where all the evil whiteys are at and she can avoid them. Like, it doesn't make it took the movie way away from reality. Like this movie should have been based in a complete reality, because the reality of it was an epic story in itself. To turn into something where like any moment you're gonna see Charles Xavier go, I know she's in Maryland. Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, go find her. Like, it just felt like it was ridiculous. I'm like, what in the world are we watching here? So yes. I have not seen Moonlight. I have no desire. I know enough about it to be like, I ain't watching that. Harry Tubman, YouTube Holiday 2020. Oh my gosh. Mess. Oh my gosh. Right. And I agree. There's so many great, I love historical dramas. I love historical docudramas or whatever. They kind of like, they just stick to the facts. I mean, there's certain things that happen in our history or any history around the world. If you're presenting it as a true story, as facts, then just make the movie what it is. Like, here's the thing. Like, regardless of how you feel about that religious aspect of it or not, when you watch The Passion of the Christ, have you ever seen that? There is no gloss. There is no shimmer. There is no wink and nod. Like, oh, this is kind of Hollywoody. It's just like a straight up beat down of Jesus on screen. And they obviously couldn't even capture what he really went through because it's made for entertainment purposes. But that's one of the very few movies that you ever watch that like takes everything and just sticks with the historical, just the historical, regardless if you believe if that's real or not. That's not the argument right now. Just if you believe what the Bible says, you believe what Josephus says using, his writings. If you believe what the Jewish leaders said leading up to that from their text, dude. That is a movie that you don't need any gloss. And I mean, and I feel like in Harriet Tubman and other movies like that, like the Lincoln movie and all these other movies you can talk about, just focus on the facts. There's plenty of facts. I mean, like Harriet Tubman lived to be 91 years old until 1913. So there is plenty of real facts that we don't need any fake facts to make this an interesting story. Harriet Tubman is a very interesting character without our help. Hollywood does not need to jazz her up a bit, shine her up, and get her on out there because, she's not relevant. She's plenty relevant. It's shocking that we have to, like, make this have to be like an X-Men movie. And I'm like, what are you doing, So, Mad Max. Yeah, the Mad Max was totally real, man, for sure. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, dude. I mean, based on a true story. Based on a true story, dude. I mean, here's the thing. It makes total sense now. I mean, it really does. I have the movie. It's essentially a documentary, and I do have it. I mean, I saw that movie in the theater with a friend. I had no idea what to expect from that movie because it looked like total garbage. And to my surprise, though there is very cheesy and gimmicky, it's actually a fun movie. Somehow I was very surprised at how well that movie came off. I really enjoyed it. Zombie Hunter, that'd be a cool one. What about Abraham Lincoln pig flu slayer, H1N1 coronavirus slayer? So yeah, you definitely YouTube, man. Man, I got most of my packing done this afternoon, so I get ready for the trip to Pittsburgh in the morning with my kiddo Squiddo, who's apparently fell asleep on the floor. Them kids, man. Them kids. Man, that's a good looking card. I just gotta say, them kids. Bob Lewis, you're still here, dude. I thought you were going to get my living arrangements squared away. For sure. Oh, what's up, Faux Leaf? Faux Leaf? You thought I was going to say For Life. I know, but I said Faux Leaf. LEAF. Yeah. Oh, not the okay sign. We don't want to get that. We don't want to let that cat out of the bag. That was F for Leaf. For sure. Man, I know who goes voluntarily. This guy right here goes. I'm super excited. For sure. Man, if only I could hang out with so many people. If I could only hang out with all you all there. You've been pumping my match, but pump it up. Yeah, fully Clover, cheers. You got to cheers from the Figinator. Ron Fig. The most square guy here. The bale of hay. Sweet. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And when I mean air matches, I mean bale of hay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Luca was like, we're gonna be up in the attic. He was I'd rather sleep on the couch. I'm like, it'll be fine, dude. We'll be fine. We're just going up there to sleep. We're not going up there to hang out for the entire day. But I think he thought like we're gonna be up in some like, or you're gonna stick us up in the corner somewhere. I was like, I'm just gonna steal all your Roberto Clementes. I'm gonna pocket them and then I'm gonna sell them on eBay. Oh my goodness. The gold. Ooh. Oh yeah, there'll be definitely a tickle fight. Yeah, tickle fight. Hashtag tickle fight. Yeah, we have a pretty, hypothetically speaking, we have a pretty involved schedule. We're playing swords. Yeah, well, at least for me, it's gonna be more like a daggers. But yeah, the idea is there for sure. Oh man, King Arthur, really, dude? I thought you. I guess my videos are so all over the place. It's probably hard to find. So obviously, I'll just speak for myself because I have no problem doing that. But Eric Jabs, he's a teacher or was a teacher, supposedly a teacher. And I'm not going to get into his personal stuff. I know a lot of people can speak to that, like his wife or ex-wife and all that drama with him and his wife and children. Like, I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying specifically about him as a person. He has taken advantage of young people and naive people. Now, naive people, you could call them dumb or stupid or uninformed. That's possible. But him being a teacher, and even not a teacher, being a father of children, or just being as understanding as an adult, not to take things from kids. It's like, that's my problem. And if you don't know that he goes around and like takes from children and tries to get them to send him their most desirable cards, and then in return, he gives them like a stack of 92 Don Russ cards, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he is a complete scumbag. He does that. He used to just like steal balls from children and old people when he would shag balls at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. I mean, he would take and then he would sell those balls online on eBay and like charge like astronomical prices, and he would get them for free. He would get like 15 a day. I mean, he's a complete scumbag. Yeah, we're gonna fix the ceiling. So yeah. But I already got a car loaded up with all of Bob and Bob's family's gifts. Hopefully they'll enjoy the gifts for sure. So that's kind of what's going on with that, man. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I felt like I've talked about it a lot, but the short of it is he takes advantage of other people, mostly children. He acts like he doesn't understand why people would get mad about that, and acts like it's not his fault. But you have to have some responsibility for your actions, and he acts like he has no responsibility for it. I mean, he's a complete douche. Yeah, I always say bad things about him. And I'm always surprised at how some people really like that guy. There's nothing I like about him. I mean, he even is an arrogant jagoff. So I don't get it. Like I don't even get. It's not even like a charming personality like myself. So I really don't get it. But whatever. Watch his channel long enough. Go back to some of his older videos and see what kind of guy he is. It's just, it is what it is, man. Yeah, we're going to PNC Park. That's part of the game plan. We're gonna go check it out. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here so I can get ready for bed. Get my beauty sleep on so I can get ready for tomorrow. Bobby's house, Bobby Lou. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I'll be looking forward to seeing my sub count dramatically decrease over this video. But hopefully you all had a good time. And until next time, peace out.